Now the picture here tells you about the rod cells and the cone cells present in the retina. So this is the rod cell. As the name suggests, it has got a rod-like structure and therefore it is called as the rod cell, and it contains photosensitive chemicals, and on account of these chemicals the rod cells respond to the intensity of light and give information about brightness or dimness of the object to the brain. The second one is a cone cell. You can see it is cone shaped again. It also contains photosensitive chemicals, and the cone cells are the one which are going to tell us about the colored vision. It gives us the colored vision. We can distinguish between various colors on account of the cone cells. So cones are a type of photoreceptor cell in the retina, and they give us the colored vision. Now these cones are concentrated in the center of our retina in an area which is called as macula. Now here you can see that this lining here is the retina, and the central part here, it is comprising of an area which is called as the macula. Now macula is a part of the retina that is responsible for sharp and detailed central vision. So this area is responsible for the central vision, and it is even going to contain very high concentration of cone cells. So this is what is the function of the macula, which is present in the central part of our retina. Now the retina has approximately 120 million rod cells and 6 million cone cells. Now there are three types of cone cells: those which can sense red color, those which can sense green color, and the ones which can sense blue color. So here this area has been highlighted and the internal structure here has been shown. So you can see here rod cells are there and the cone cells have also been shown. Now when light falls onto them, they get excited or activated, and the impulses get converted into the form of an electric signal which is carried by the nerve cells, neurons, you can see here, and they are carried via the nerve cell to the brain in the form of electric signals, where the brain is going to interpret it, and we can see the object as it is. Now cones are normally one of the three types, each with a different pigment. Each of them will have a different pigment, and they are named as S cones, M cones, and L cones. Now each cone is therefore sensitive to visible wavelengths of light that correspond to short wavelength. So S cones are for short wavelength light, M cones for medium wavelength, and longer wavelength, that is L cones. So we have three types of cone cells again. And you might be thinking that though we have only three types, that is blue, green, and red colored cone cells which are sensitive, but we can see a variety of different colors. But it is due to the overlapping of the cones and how the brain interprets the signals sent from them that allows us to see various different colors. So since only three types of cones are there, we can see various different types of colors. For example, the color yellow results from the green and red cones being stimulated, while the blue cones have no stimulation. So when you are seeing a yellow colored object, red and green colored cone cells are activated more in number as compared to the blue ones, and the overall effect is that of the yellow color. So this is what is the case. For example, then when red color falls on the eyes, the cells corresponding to red colored light get excited more than those corresponding to the other colors, and we get the sensation of red color. So this is all about the rod cells and the cone cells. Now here I would even like to tell you about color blindness. some people are lacking conical cells responding to certain colors. So they are color blind, and these persons cannot recognize those colors, or they cannot distinguish between different colors. So these people are said to be colorblind, and apart from being colorblind, they are uh, just not able to distinguish between colors. Otherwise, they have a normal eyesight. So the most common ones being red and green color blindness. Red and green color blindness is the most common type of color blindness, which is followed by blue-yellow color blindness or total color blindness. So it is on this color blindness is on account of the mutation. We have studied what is mutation in the red-green retinal photoreceptors. So when mutational changes take place, it results in these kinds of disorders. So that is all about the various different types of rod and cone cells that are present in the retina. I hope you have understood the various parts of the human eye and the functions that they perform. Here this diagram gives you all those labelings that we have discussed, like the cornea, then the iris, then pupil, the biconvex crystalline lens, the retina, and the optic nerve. So all this we have already discussed. Apart from that, you can see one labeling here, aqueous humor and vitreous humor. So aqueous humor and vitreous humor both are liquids, watery fluids, which are present. Like here, the aqueous humor is present between cornea and the iris. The space between the two, the cornea and the iris, has got aqueous humor. Whereas between the lens and the retina, there is a lot of space here which is filled by another fluid, that is vitreous humor. So we have two watery fluids, and the function of these fluids is to maintain the shape of the eyeball. We know that the eyeball is spherical in shape. The change in the shape of the eyeball can introduce various disorders. So to maintain the shape of the eyeball, the spherical shape, we have this aqueous humor and the vitreous humor. Then it even maintains the pressure inside the eyeball. And the third function is to provide nutrition to the eyeball. So these are the functions of vitreous humor and aqueous humor. They have got refractive index of 1.33, which is very close to the refractive index of the eye lens, which is 1.34. Lastly, we have ciliary muscles, and these are the muscles which are going to hold the lens in its position. So you have ciliary muscles here, and they are going to hold the lens in its position. Now, ciliary muscles help the lens to bring about change in its curvature so that the focal length can be changed. And change in the focal length is required because when we see nearby objects or distant objects, the focal length of the eye lens needs to be changed, and that is brought about by the eye lens, which changes its curvature. And this is brought about by the help of ciliary muscles, which contract and relax and bring about change in the focal length of the eye lens. So these are some important parts of the eyeball. Lastly, here we have got another labeling, that is choroid. Choroid is the main blood vessel supplying blood to the eye. And here you have the fovea. Fovea is another part in the retina, and it is comprised of large number of cone cells. So these are some of the additional important parts of the eyeball. So with this, we come to the end of the structure and the functioning of the eyeball and its parts. In the next class, we will be taking up the various disorders associated with the vision. Thank you.